Hey guys, what's up? It's me once again. I want to talk about discussion. Something that started off as a rumor, but looks like it may end up happening. I want to talk about Goldberg. Goldberg possibly challenging Kevin Owens for the Universal title. Um, Universal title. I'm just going to abbreviate it as the UV Championship at Fastlane and winning it, and he and Brock going on to WrestleMania with the title on the line. Excuse me, and Brock beating Goldberg there. This first kind of started off. Well, actually, it first goes back to I want to say like maybe last month. Well, not last month because we're in February. Sometime in December going to early January. Um, it was leaked out that Goldberg would make an appearance at Fastlane, or that he was going to appear at Fastlane. Then, as the days went on, it was confirmed that he would actually have a match at Fastlane, and a couple more days passed after that, or maybe several weeks. And from that, rumors started to sprout that Goldberg may end up winning the Universal Championship. I didn't want to touch on this rumor because, kind of want to wait till Royal Rumble comes and kind of see how things go. Since Royal Rumble is the first, I guess you could say, uh, roadblock to WrestleMania, and things can change. I for sure thought Roman Reigns was going to win the UV title at Rumble. That didn't end up happening. Owens ended up retaining, coming out of Royal Rumble. Looks like Goldberg challenging Owens for the red strap and winning it is highly it's more of a possibility than anything. Um, how I feel about this, honestly, I don't mind. I literally don't mind. I know a lot of people would disagree with that and would be, Goldberg's a part timer. Why are you doing? Why would WWE give him a world championship? He doesn't need a championship on the line, to face Brock Lesnar. True, but I kind of see this as being the same thing that happened between The Rock and John Cena, where they had their first match. The second match that they had, the only thing that could, I guess, say top it or try to make it mean more, put a belt in the centerpiece of the storyline between these two giant, larger than life stars, and have them duke it out for the championship. It's literally the same thing, a copy and paste of what they did with Cena and Rock at WrestleMania. Um, I don't mind, and I think that they can get away with this simply for the simple fact that it's the Universal Championship. If this was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, I may actually have a gripe about it. But because it's with the Universal title, a title that really has no prestige to it, doesn't have any meaning or credibility to it. No offense to Kevin Owens, but really, that's what the Universal title championship means. I don't care how much WWE tries to sell you or tries to, perceive into the fans' minds on television that the Universal and WWE titles are on equal party. They're both equal world championships. I admire WWE for, trying to take a page out of the UFC book and trying to have these multiple world championships and make them seem like they're on equal party, on equal level. But realistically, in the fans' minds, we all know the belt on SmackDown is really the number one belt. The Universal title is really nothing more than a reimagined, redesigned, remade version of the World Heavyweight Championship that they retired 5 or 6 years ago. That's really what the Universal title is. So I think at a time like this, where you have a championship that has no prestige or no meaning to it yet, or if ever, and quite frankly, a title belt that doesn't really mean, in my opinion, I don't think it really means anything to a lot of the wrestling fans. Um, Despite its negative reaction and its unveiling from SummerSlam last year, um, I don't think fans really care about that belt at all. As long as Roman Reigns doesn't win it, I'm sure they'd be fine if the janitor was Universal Champion. They wouldn't give a damn as long as it's not Roman Reigns. So, at a time like that, or thinking about all these things in consideration, it makes sense to probably have Goldberg as the Universal Champion. And like I said, I don't have a problem with it because it's a belt that means nothing, that has no prestige, that has no lineage. Now, what does it say for Kevin Owens? I know a lot of people would expect Kevin Owens to be at WrestleMania. I honestly did not expect Kevin Owens to be the world champion going into WrestleMania. Um, Kevin Owens, and let's not forget, Kevin Owens is a guy that is, by default, became Universal Champion. Not discredit him at all. One man's tragedy was another man's opportunity. He seized the opportunity that was given to him due to Finn Balor being injured, and also the back end of Triple H. So, with those two things in consideration, Kevin Owens was chosen to be the UV champion. Kevin Owens has been a good champion, but Kevin Owens hasn't quite pretty much lit the world on fire. Now, I'm not saying that that's the necessary need to take the strap off him, but I just feel like they can get away with this. And on top of that, Jericho just announced a couple of days ago that he will be leaving the WWE sometime in the spring, shortly after WrestleMania, in fact, to do his thing with Fozzy, like Jericho always does. So you got to figure, if Owens drops the strap to Goldberg, he'll have his program with Jericho for the U.S. title, United States Championship, and that's nothing to sneeze at. That's nothing that I would consider to be underwhelming by no means. Having a WrestleMania match with Jericho for the U.S. title, that wouldn't be a bad thing at all. My one concern coming out of this big rumor, possible rumor, is that Brock and Goldberg may end up main eventing WrestleMania. Now, this is where I kind of take a back seat to it and say, hold up, stop, WWE, what are you doing? Brock Goldberg, I don't think needs to main event WrestleMania. If they do what they did at Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, pack up your bags, go home, because that does not need to be the main event if they're going to do that. Goldberg and Brock, if they do a short match, it would be better if it was the third match to the main event or something. But to be the ending closeout show, they have to do 12 or 15 minutes. We know Goldberg is limited in the ring because of A, his age, and B, Goldberg was a really technical wrestler to begin with. And Brock Lesnar has his limitations as well. What they did at Survivor Series worked for what it was. It got Goldberg over, and it was Survivor Series kind of screw pay-per-view. I think everyone expected a big clash of titans. We all did, actually, including myself. We ended up getting a squash match instead. Again, I still thought it was a good booking choice and the right decision for it made Goldberg over like Grover. But yeah, they can't do what they did at Survivor Series. They have to pull out a longer match between these two. Would it be a good match or not? I don't know. Maybe add a stipulation to the match, which is like a no DQ. Throw something in there, an Extreme Rules match, something where they can use weapons and there's no limitations that could hide both men's flaws. It is said that Vince McMahon is heavily invested in this main particular feud. And I know some people, again, may gripe and complain and say, well, what, two part-timers wrestling, why are they taking the spot, this and that, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, these men they're a draw. Goldberg, I said it in my Survivor Series review, and I'll still say it again. Goldberg is the most over babyface that they have in the entire company. On comparing both brands, on don't matter, SmackDown or Raw, Goldberg is their most over babyface that they have now. Goldberg has been deemed and has been booked as a legitimate badass, as a bigger star in his twilight years, or you could say at the end of his road here of his career, versus his first year in WWE in 2003, 2004. Goldberg has been made out to be he feels like a bigger star now than he did when he first came into WWE, and it's been booked better now than when he first came into WWE in 2003. So, at the end of the day, Goldberg is a draw. The stars of today, as talented as Seth Rollins is, as amazing and phenomenal AJ Styles is, as great as Kevin Owens is and Sami Zayn and all these other guys and gals, they don't draw like the stars of yesteryear draw, or the previous era, I should say, draw. They just don't. Wrestling isn't as hot as hot as it is anymore. Kayfabe is dead. Um, Fans, even though so there are some wrestlers that are popular and that are over, fans still clamor more for the Attitude Era, the Monday Night War stars than they do for the stars of today. So just for that fact reason alone, you bring in a guy like a Goldberg or a Brock Lesnar, even though yes, they are part timers, they're gonna be more over and they're gonna get more of the spotlight and the attention than the younger generation of stars. Does it make it right? Don't necessarily agree with it. No, not all the time. But in certain cases it can work. In certain cases you can get, make it work. Rock and John Cena was an exception, I think, to that rule that they can make it work. You may say to yourself you have two part timers, but you know what? The way I look at it, the thing between Goldberg and Brock is no different between Brock and Undertaker at WrestleMania. Undertaker's a part timer just as much as any of the other legends. Brock ended his streak at WrestleMania. Now you have another part timer working with Brock, and they're doing their thing. Should it be for the Universal title? Probably not, but it's nothing I would frown at and discuss either. Like I said, I've been enjoying Goldberg. Goldberg has been enjoyable since he's been back. He's been booked really strong, like a monster. What else? I mean, he's already dethroned Brock. The next best thing is to give him a title for like 5 weeks. And does that mean Brock is going to get it? Yes. I read something yesterday that Brock could end up having the belt. Plan is to have Brock win the belt off of Goldberg at Mania and then drop it at SummerSlam. I know a lot of people during his first run as champion as a part timer 3 years ago. No one was really happy about that. I didn't mind Brock being WWE champion. I enjoyed his run as champion in spite of him being a part timer. So if we get it again, I don't mind at all. And again, like I said, looking at what we have now today, right now, with the brand split and with a newly introduced world title that has no meaning to it, legitimate, you can say again, like I said, means nothing to the fans in the fans' eyes, and has no prestige or lineage to it. They can get away with doing what they're doing between Brock and Goldberg, having Goldberg win it and having Brock win it at at Mania. My only gripe and concern is to have them be the main event for WrestleMania. It looks like that may happen because this has been one of the big storylines that they've been building up, going back to like midsummer of last year, leading up to now. It's one of the big storylines that they've been working on for months. So I could see it being main eventing WrestleMania from that perspective, but it really should. I would hear you guys' thoughts and opinions about this. Should Goldberg be the Universal Champion? Do you agree, disagree with my points that I brought out? Or your thoughts in the box below. Do yourself a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Peace.